In the previous video, we discussed the advantages of market economy. And in this video, we will discuss the disadvantages of market economic system. The fundamental disadvantage is the exploitation of laborers. The exploitation of workers has a big disadvantage because of the working condition, long hours for less pay for a very few benefit. The large corporations have moved their production to countries where they can get cheap labor with few safety regulations for the workers. You can see what is happening in China. Major US corporations, the goods are being produced in China and there's a lot of labor issues there. And the second disadvantage would be the investment priorities. Investment priorities and wealth becomes distorted. The wealthy keep getting wealthier and the public sector such as education, transportation routes and public health does not get the needed funds to keep evolving and providing for the public needs. Only when there is profits, the entrepreneurs will come into the market. So when there is no profit, even though there is social benefits, there is no motivation for the entrepreneurs to come into the market. So that may be the second disadvantage. The third one would be the overproduction or mass production. Due to overproduction, industrial machinery will lay idle and there will be no production or profit for the manufacturer. Until the price drops, the goods will remain unsold. So when the market signals a high price, the producers will start to mass produce their goods, and when the markets adjust, the whatever the goods have been produced before, it's unable to sell, and also the machinery will become idle. And the fourth one would be the unemployment. Rates go up due to the overproduction of goods. Workers are not needed anymore to keep producing goods, and therefore companies cannot afford to keep the workers employed. Finally, as I have mentioned in the previous video, economic crisis. Having the market economy system will lead to periods of economic crisis due to imperfect information. As I have explained earlier, the economy will stop growing when goods are overproduced and workers are then unemployed. The economic crisis will not end until it gets back to the market equilibrium, and the society would have experienced devastating effects because of this. So, to summarize the main characteristics of market economy, the easiest way to answer this question is to take some of the advantages and disadvantages and summarize everything together. So, I will just summarize one of the few key important things which I haven't touched before. The first one being the private ownership of property. So the land is owned by private owners, not the government. And also there is freedom of choice, as we have seen in the first advantage. You have the choice to produce what you want and also to consume. And the third one being the competition. There is healthy competition in market economy. And the fourth one being self-interest. The producers are motivated to maximize their profits, and the consumers are motivated to satisfy their wants and needs and increase their utility. And the fifth one being the market regulates itself. This is key because market economy doesn't depend on the government, and government has very limited role to play in market economic system. The problem comes is that market doesn't regulate itself fast enough and respond fast enough, and that is because of the imperfect information, and there is a lag to the information that we have access today for the consumers and for the producers. That's why it leads to economic crisis.